Hi guys, let's look into the solution for mole concept quiz 1. I've tried to put different patterns here that belong to NEET and also JEE mains. The numbers are actually more like NEET than JEE mains. JEE mains is இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் calculation intensive இருக்கும். There are a couple of problems that might be a little bit tough in terms of calculation for the corresponding NEET candidates. Let's look at the problems given to you. First question, 0.4 moles of HCl and 0.2 moles of calcium chloride were dissolved in water to have 500 ml of the solution. Molarity of the solution is. This type of problem is extremely important because this might be a problem by itself. Illana solutions chapter la in the problem which molarity calculate panni conversion varum. Density which molality lende your freezing point depression, boiling point elevation varum. So you need to get this done. It's actually very simple. So they are telling you 500 ml. This is the key here, 500 ml, which is half a liter. Get used to it. 0.4 moles of HCl and 0.2 moles calcium chloride. They are talking about concentration of chlorine. So 0.4 moles HCl is nothing but 0.4 moles chlorine. And now HCl is chlorine. 0.2 moles CaCl2 is 0.4 moles chlorine. The reason is one calcium chloride, 2 chlorine. So total is 0.8 moles chlorine is present in half a liter. So 1.6 moles chlorine is present in 1 liter. That is your molarity. Alright, now in this solution, if you have to mix together the solution, what is the concentration of HCl? 0.4 moles is in 500 ml, correct? Appa half liter la 0.4 moles irukku. Appa 1 liter la evlo irukum? You can say 0.8. So concentration of HCl will be 0.8. Calcium chloride enna irukum? Adhe mari you can look at 0.2 moles is present in 500 ml. Appa 1 liter la 0.4 irukum. So concentration of calcium chloride, we can write this. Cl minus would be 1.6 molar. Concentration of HCl would be 0.8 molar. Concentration of CaCl2 would be 0.4 molar. So what else are we looking at? Concentration of calcium will be same as concentration of calcium chloride. Concentration of H plus will be same as concentration of HCl. Chlorine mattum adhigama irukum ena rendu source irukku chlorine ku. Alright, so number 2. The weight of one molecule of a compound of molecular formula C60H122. C60H122. What is the weight of one molecule? So what is the molar mass of this one? 60 carbons times each carbon is 12 plus 122 times 1. That's going to be 60 times 12 is 720 plus 122 is 842 gram per mole. What is the weight of one molecule? ஒரு மோலோட weight எவ்வளோ? ஒரு moleculeக்கு என்ன இருக்கும்? Weight of one molecule equals the weight is for 1 mole and 1 mole has Avogadro number of molecules 10 to the 23rd. Now when you look at it, you can actually do it if you want. 1 point. So 6 table panna 1 point. 24 is 4. So I have 1.4. Okay, I should rather say 6 140 or 1.4 times 10 to the power minus 21. Option Charlie. Okay, so number 3. 60 grams of an organic compound has analysis 24 grams carbon. So carbon is 24 grams, hydrogen is 4 grams, oxygen is 32 grams. Just divide by their molecular weight. So that is going to be C2H4O2. They are asking about empirical formula, the simplest number, divide all this by 2, you get option alpha. Okay. Number 4. The reaction of calcium with water is represented by the equation. So now they have given you the equation. What you want to look at is the mole ratio, balanced equation and it is balanced. So they are telling you what is the amount of hydrogen liberated for so much of calcium. So calcium to hydrogen calcium to hydrogen is 1:1. So now they are telling you 8 grams of calcium. 8 grams of calcium will give you how many milliliters, which is centimeter cube of hydrogen. So we want to convert this to moles to moles using mole ratio to volume. So literally what we have is, looking at the schematic, solid in the moles in the moles, again gas, correct? Na, Nb, solid weight A to gas B. This is what we are going to do. So looking at this, calcium is to hydrogen. So this is 1:1, very simple. So this is 8 grams divided by 40 gram per mole will give you moles of calcium. That is the moles of hydrogen now, 1:1. And moles of hydrogen theriyum. What is the volume occupied by hydrogen? Times 22.4 liters. So this is the volume occupied. Fine. Now, however you want to do it, this is between 22.5 is exactly between 20 and 24. 5 table between 4 and 5. So 4.5 liters or 4500 milliliters or cc. Now I have approximated. So the answer is supposed to be something close to this, 4480 centimeter cube. 1 centimeter cube is 1 mil. We already saw that in class. So option delta. Fifth one, which has the maximum number of molecules among the following? All you have to do is convert them mass over molecular mass. 44 by 44. There is 1 mole of carbon dioxide. 48 by 48, and a molecular mass of O3 is 1. So there is 1 mole of O3. Similarly, SO2 is 64. So A, B and C are all 1 mole, whereas Charlie 8 divided by 2 is 4 moles. So option Charlie. Sixth one, for preparing for a 0.1 normal solution or any concentration solution, normality we will see later, equivalent weight, and based on that equivalence and normality. From an impure sample, what is the of unknown percent purity or known percent purity, doesn't matter, அது வந்து impure னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. I know that. What is the weight of the substance required will be? So imagine, for example, you have impure sugar and you want to add 10 grams of sugar to your tea. அப்போ 10 grams exactly weigh பண்ணி போட்டா உள்ளுக்குள்ள வந்து 10 grams sugar இருக்காது, maybe some 9 point something gram plus impurity. So if I want 10 grams sugar to be added, I have to take more than 10 gram according to percent impurity. So the option is beta, more than theoretical weight. Theoretical weight you will take when the sample is 100% pure. Question 7. A solution is prepared by dissolving 24.5 grams of sodium hydroxide. So another thing that I want you to know, by practice you will start knowing acetic acid is 60, urea is 60, glucose is 180 molecular weight, your sodium hydroxide is 40, calcium carbonate is 100. These are recurring example NEET. So you want to remember, you don't have time to calculate it there. So this is 40 gram per mole. So they are telling me I have 24.5 gram, right away I can say this is the moles is distilled water. In distilled water to give 1 liter of the solution. So I have the moles, I need to calculate molarity. Already they have given you, this is gram per mole per liter. Gram goes away, moles goes to the top, moles per liter, that's your molarity. So you just have to condense this. This is pretty straightforward. What you can do, 10, this is 6. 6 by 10 is 0.6. Now I have approximated it to 24. அப்போ நான் வந்து கம்மி ஆக்கியிருக்கேன். அப்போ வரப்போகிற ஆன்சர் வந்து கம்மியாக வரும், நம்ம அதிகப்படுத்தணும். 0.6ஓட கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாக இருக்கணும். ஆப்ஷன் இஸ் பேட்டா. Question 8. The empirical formula of the compound is CH2O, molecular weight is 180. The molecular formula of the compound is. So now very simple, calculate the empirical formula weight. 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus oxygen is 16 is 30. 180 by 30 is 6. So obviously you multiply this by 6. Another way of knowing that is, example, C6H12O6 is glucose. I just told you, you have to remember glucose. fructose is 180, glucose is 180, glucose and fructose combined together becomes 360. Or water remove panna sucrose kadaikum. 360 minus 6, water is 18. So you 342 is molecular mass of glucose. You have to remember it. You have to get to the speed in NEET. Okay. Don't try to remember it. Practice problems. You will know already. Question 9. The molar concentration of 20 grams of NaOH in 5 liters. 20 grams NaOH in 5 liters. So now normally I will do the faster way and then I will do the slow way. Faster way na molecular mass of sodium hydroxide 14 ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்க சொன்னேன். 40 எடுத்தா 1 mole, 20 எடுத்தா 0.5 mole, correct? 0.5 mole in 5 liters is equivalent to times 2 பண்ணி பாருங்க. 0.5 na பாதி mole 5 லிட்டர்ல இருக்குனா 1 mole 10 லிட்டர்ல இருக்கு. 1 mole is in 10 liters. 1 mole in 10 liters or 0.1 mole in 1 liter. Moles per liter is the molarity, so the concentration is this. The long way is moles NaOH equals mass over molar mass, that is 20 by 40. Then I have my moles. Molarity is moles over volume 20 by 40 times 1 by 5. Even this is not long if you know the numbers well. And these numbers are actually on par with what you can expect in NEET. 10th question is a very good problem. I am going to remove 10 to the 21 molecules. I am going to remove from 200 milligrams of CO2. So right away I want to convert this to 200 times 10 power minus 3 grams CO2. Grams are easier because நம்ம moles கண்டுபிடிக்கணும் இப்போ molesல இருந்து molecules. Now what you can do, moles CO2 equals mass over molar mass. So this is the moles. Now what I can do is I can convert this also into moles divided by Avogadro number பண்ணலாம். இல்லனா இத molecules ஆ பண்ணலாம். I would just do both are same. Molecules என்ன இருக்கும்? molesல இருந்து molecule 200 times 10 power minus 3 times 6 times 10 to the power 23 divided by 44. Now what I can do 7 table. So roughly is good enough. So if you were to do based on 7 table, you get 6 table, you get 7. Now this we don't want to make it 210, we want to approximate. It's fine, but already in approximation irukana idu nam accurate ah pannalam. 2 alana 14 means 2 times, correct? What do you mean? 60, 7. So we can approximate it a little bit if you want. Okay. So I have 67. So 56 kum 63 ku naduvula irukku. So something like 8.5, 28.5 times 10 to the 20 or 2.85 times 10 to the power ஒரு decimal move பண்ணியிருக்கேன். So 10 to the power minus 10 to the 20 means this will become 21. Now I have 10 to the 21, 10 to the 21. So நான் இதை remove பண்ணா மிச்சம் என்ன வரும்னு பார்க்கலாம். So now what you have is 1 times 10 power 21 I am removing from 2.8 times 10 power 21. அப்போ 1.8 times 10 power 21 பாக்கி இருக்கு. Now convert it to moles. So what do? You divide it by so okay, leftover என்ன இருக்கும் 1.8 times 10 to the 21 molecules. Now what is the moles? Molecules divided by Avogadro number. 1.8 times 10 power 21 divided by 6 times 10 to the 23rd. இது 0.3, இது minus 2 or 3 times 10 to the minus 3 roughly alpha. Now I am doing the math this fast, you have to get there. இந்த அளவுக்கு நீங்க math வரல அப்படினா your problem is not chemistry, your problem is going to be physics later. Okay, so far we have solved 10 problems. I hope that you are able to start seeing a pattern. So the remaining, I am going to solve all of them, but the remaining questions are also easier. Let's look at question number 11. The weight of a single atom of oxygen. One atom of oxygen, 1 mole weighs how much? I am talking about O, not O2. So 16 gram per mole. 1 mole. 1 mole is nothing but 6 times 10 to the 23rd molecules or atoms. Okay, இவ்வளோ atom வந்து 16 grams. அப்போ ஒரு atom என்னவா இருக்கும்? 16 by 6 times 10 to the 23rd. Now I let you do the math. You should get option Charlie. However you want, you can make it 16 by 6. Okay, you can make it 2 table and then you can do however you want, or you can directly do 16, not a big deal. 12th one. 12th is good. It's redox combined with or mole concept. So now they're telling you K-monophore versus oxalate. This is something I told you in lecture as well. You have to remember it for making it easy. So here I balanced the equation and gave you, but you want to remember this. 2:5. Okay. How many electron process is this? ஒரு K-monophore 5 electron process, and you want to remember that ஒரு K-monophore 5 electron na 2 K-monophore 10 electron. So this is a 10 electron redox process. If you can remember this, your life is going to be easier. Now they are telling you the data about K-monophore. So moles K-monophore is molarity times volume. What is the molarity? 0.1 molar times 20 mils. So I am going to leave it in milliliters. You will get millimoles. That's fine. Now moles K-monophore. So moles oxalate would be what? 0.1 times 20. This is moles K-monophore times 2 moles K-monophore for every oxalate. This is moles K-monophore. Alright. So now what is this number that you get? 10 cancel item 5. Okay, because I am using milliliters, this will be millimoles. Now all you have to do is see which one will give you the corresponding 5 millimoles option. Alpha will give you 20 times 0.5. It will give you 5 times 2 is 10. No. Second one 50 times this. No, it won't give you. It will give you 25. Third one 50 times 0.1 is 5. That's what Charlie is your option. 13. Volume of gas at NTP. I told you NTP is 24.8, but on all practical purposes you can use 22.4 in a ரெண்டுமே பக்கத்துல இருக்கனால volume of a gas is 1.12 times 10 to the minus 7 cc. So the volume at NTP is 1.12 times 10 to the power minus 7 cc. Now I told you 22.4, அது ஒரு மோலுக்கு. இது I don't know how many moles are there, but this is the volume they are giving me, which is nothing but cc is mil, or 1.12 times 10 to the power minus 7 times 10 to the power minus 3 liters. I know molar volume is 22.4 liter per mole. They are asking you the number of molecules. So first, what is it? Number of moles equals the given volume divided by molar volume. இதுதான் கொடுத்திருக்க volume divided by ஒரு மோலுக்கு எவ்வளவு வால்யூம்னு தெரிஞ்சா மொத்த மோல்ஸ் எவ்வளவுன்னு தெரியும். So I have 1.12 times 10 to the power minus 10 divided by 22.4. Okay, if you do this, this is going to be 20. Right, now this is what I have, number of molecules equals moles times Avogadro number. So this times Avogadro number should give you, should get option alpha. I am not going to show you how to solve it. I have done many questions extensively. You have to practice your math yourself. But in your final exam, don't worry, ivlo math varadhu ungalku. Out of 45 questions, 15 is physical chemistry. Inorganic and organic doesn't have calculations. Among the 15, some of them are straightforward, some of them are theoretical, and very few are math, and some are only very few of them are tough math. Okay. 14th one is very simple. You are looking at arrange the following in the increasing order of mass. Let's look at 1, 2, 3, 4. 14. One atom of oxygen, one atom of nitrogen. You don't have to calculate exactly. All you need to know is pattern. இப்போ atom weight அதிகமாக இருக்குமா, mole weight அதிகமாக இருக்குமா? moles தான், ஒரு mole தான் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். 6 times 10 to the power minus 6 times 10 to the power 23 molecules தான் ஒரு mole. அப்போ நான் நிறைய எடுத்தால் தான் ஒரு mole வரும். So now Charlie and Deltaவில் 3 and 4ல உங்களுக்கு என்ன கொடுத்துருக்காங்க? 1 times 10 power minus 10 mole. It's still more than, so if you take 1 times 10 power minus 10 mole, how many atoms are there? Times 10 to the 23rd. Just look at the number. 6 மறந்துருங்க. 10 power minus 10 or 10 power 23 multiply panna 10 power 13 varum. So this is going to be a lot of molecules, correct? 3 and 4 lot of molecules. So எனக்கு வந்து 1 and 2 க்கு நடுவுல இது தெரியணும், ட்ரெண்ட் தெரியணும். 3 and 4 க்கு நடுவுல ட்ரெண்ட் தெரியணும். Now let's look at 1 and 2, which is bigger. One atom will weigh more of oxygen or nitrogen, obviously oxygen. So between these two I know 1 is greater than 2. So between these two I am taking a lot. So oxygen or copper, obviously copper. So 4 is greater than 3. So options are 4 is greater than 3 greater than 1 greater than 2. 4 greater than 3 greater than 1 greater than 2, option alpha. Okay, let's look at number 15. 10 grams of hydrogen and 64 grams of oxygen. This is a neat pattern, proper pattern. So 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. So they are giving you 10 grams of this and 64 grams of this. So how many moles is it? 10 divided by 2, that will be 5 moles. This will be 2 moles. 1 mole needs 2 mole. 2 mole will need 4 mole. Irukka. So this is my limiting reagent. Let me look at it the other way around. 2 needs 1. So பாதி தான் வேணும். அப்போ 5க்கு பாதி என்ன? 2.5. Do you have 2.5? No, you don't have. So only 2 is there. So this is my limiting reagent. This is my excess reagent. Now what is the amount left over? இது எல்லாம் யூஸ் ஆகிடும். 0 moles. 2 will use up 4. What is the amount left over? 1 mole. Correct? How much of water will be formed? 1 mole வந்து 2 mole தருது. Okay? Double. அப்போ 2 will give you 4 moles. Left over is 4 moles. They are asking you which is going to be the moles of water. That is going to be 4 moles beta. Let's look at question number 16. 16 is a little bit tough in terms of math. 1 gram magnesium irukku, 0.56 grams oxygen irukku. The reaction is straightforward. What is left over and how much? Now this is a little tricky. First thing we want to do is moles, mass over molar mass. 0.56 divided by, so I am taking O2, so 32. Okay, so now we can approximate this to 0.5 by 32 or 1 by 64. Okay, so this is what I have, 1 divided by 24, 1 divided by 64. In the mari eduthukalam. Correct? This is much simpler. Now it looks like this is the less amount. Okay, now I need, for every O2 I need 2 mg. Okay, so appo 1 by 64 ku evlo thevapadum? 1 by 64 times 2, 1 by 32. Correct? 1 by 32 irukana irukku, because denominator chinna number na periya number irukum total. So this is my limiting reagent, this is my excess reagent. Okay. Now that I have showed you, what you need to do is, I'll show you the pattern that you want to do. So calculate moles O2, limiting reagent, multiply by 2, that will give you moles mg required. Correct? 1 mole ku 2 mole venum, ivlo moles ku times 2 potta required varum. So this moles itself. So now what I will do, moles O2 is 0.56 divided by 32 kuduthirukkuradhu, times 2 panningana 0.56, 32 times 2, 16. Okay, this is the moles mg required. Correct? That's the moles mg required. So moles mg left over would be given minus required. Given is 1 by 24 minus required is 0.56 by 16. There are multiple ways to do it. Okay, one thing you can do if you want is 1 by 24 minus, I am going to multiply this by 1.5 by 1.5. இதெல்லாம் வந்து ட்ரெண்ட் பார்க்க உங்களுக்கு வரும். 16 times 1.5 is 24. So 24 கொண்டு வந்துடலாம். ஆனால் வெறும் denominator மட்டும் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ண முடியாது. I am going to do numerator as well. This times 1.5 divided by 24. So that is going to be equal to 24. 1 minus. It's up to how you want to do it. So what you can do, you can actually see times 1.2 நீங்கள் directா கூட பண்ணலாம். If you do directly, I will show you the way I think. 0.56 times 1 na 0.56, அப்புறம் 0.56 times 0.5 na அதில் பாதி, இதில் பாதி 28, 4 balance 1, 8. So this is 0.84. So minus பண்ண என்ன வரும்? 0.16 by 24 or 16 times 10 to the power minus 2 by 24, 2 by 3. 0.33 or times 10 power minus 2. So that is the moles of Mg left over. They are asking you what is the grams times 24. Actually we can leave it as times 24 and 24 will cancel out, right? So mass Mg is moles 16 times 10 to the minus 2 divided by 24 times molecular weight of Mg is 24.16. Now this is fast for you, but this is the level at which you have to do. Now ennoda vela enna indha trend solli tharadha. Math I can teach you, but I don't have infinite time to do it. You have to practice. Problem with math is, will they give you the same number next NEET? No, but the pattern would be same. I have shown you the pattern. ரெண்டு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, எது லிமிட்டிங் ரீஜன் கண்டுபிடிச்சி எது எக்ஸஸ் ரீஜனை கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். எக்ஸஸ் எவ்வளோ இருக்குன்னு எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கணும், லிமிட்டிங் ரீஜென்ட் எவ்வளோ யூஸ் பண்ணுதுன்னு ஃபஸ்ட்டு நம்ம கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். கரெக்ட்? We have found that this much, it has used up this much, given minus what is used up will give you excess. And the x, look at the numbers, they actually cancel out. And the 0.56 is a problem irukadu kadasi varaikum. Okay, moving on. So this is option alpha. 17. How many moles of magnesium phosphate will contain 0.25 moles of oxygen atom? So when you look at magnesium phosphate, one magnesium phosphate like 8 moles oxygen, 8 moles oxygen is 1 mole magnesium phosphate. So 0.25 moles evlo irukum, first term divided by second term times side term, 0.25 by 8 times 1. Now you can solve it. You can take it as 0.24 or 24 times 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 8. So you get roughly 3 times 10 to the power minus 2. Beta. 18. What is the volume of CO2 liberated when Na2CO3 is heated? You don't need to know what exactly forms. NaO லாம் தேவையில்லை. ஒரு molecule of Na2CO3 க்கு 1 mole CO2 வரும். So 2.12 grams of this, and they are talking about what is the volume in liters of a gas. Molecular weight is 106. So what is the moles of this? 2.12 divided by 106 or 212 times 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 106. This is the moles, and that's the moles of CO2, because 1 mole gives you 1 mole. So what is the volume of CO2? Moles times molar volume. 2 times 10 to the power minus 2 times 22.4 liter per mole. Now we will mole calculate, mole goes away, you get the liters. 2 times 22.4 is 44.8 times 10 to the power minus 2 or 4.48 times 10 to the power. So I moved this here, so 10 to the power minus 1 or 0.448, your option Charlie. Okay. Number 19, sodium bicarbonate. NaHCO3, they are telling you it becomes sodium carbonate and water, right? And CO2. See, I need 2 of this because 2 sodium venum. 2 sodiums are there, 1 CO3 is here, 1 of the CO3 has become CO2, or extra hydrogen, or extra oxygen, and 2 hydrogens. So it is a balanced equation. So here they say 0.2 moles of this will completely decompose. How many moles of sodium carbonate will be formed? 2 moles gives you 1 mole, 0.2 will give you 0.1 alpha. Okay. 20. HCl is formed. What volume of H2 and Cl2 are needed? H2 plus Cl2 gives you 2 HCl, 3.65 grams of HCl. Molar mass of HCl is 36.5. So the moles is going to be 0.1 mole. 2 moles needs 1 mole and 1 mole. 0.1 would need, so adla paadi dhan theva, 0.1 by 2, 0.1 by 2. 1 mole occupies a volume of 22.4. Appa 0.1 mole evlo irukum? 2.24 volume divided by 2. 2.24 divided by 2. So 1.12 and 1.12. Option is alpha. I know that I am going fast. It's a recorded lecture. You can solve it again, look at it. திருப்பி சால்வ் பண்ணும்போது இந்த ஸ்பீட் நீங்கள் வந்து ஆகணும், இல்லைனா you will not have enough time to solve chemistry, let alone physics. Okay, moving on, let's look at question number 21. The mass of barium carbonate formed when excess of CO2 is passed through barium hydroxide. So I have barium hydroxide, CO2 is passed through, so I get barium carbonate plus water. I am not worried about balancing this one. The reason, main reason is because it is balanced, but even otherwise I am looking at these two. So the mass of barium carbonate formed when excess of CO2 is passed through a solution having 0.205 moles of barium hydroxide. 0.205 moles of barium hydroxide. 1 gives you 1, so this is also 0.205 moles. So enakku moles theriyum, mass kandupidikalam times molar mass. They will give you the molecular mass of barium carbonate, or at least they will give you the molecular mass of barium around 197, 198. So you can do the problem, option alpha. 22. 500 mils of NH3 contains so many molecules at STP. How many molecules are present in 100 mils of CO2? STP. So they are talking about gases, liquid kadiyadu. Ena STP nu sollumo gas. So all gases are pretty much same. Real gas behavior we will see it later, but almost same. So 500 mils of ammonia evna volume occupy pannudhu 500 ml. And the volume la evlo moles irukko adhe moles na any gas will be there. So read the question is 500 mils of CO2 contains 6 times 10 to the 23 molecules, correct? 500 ml ku vandu ivlo molecules irukku. 100 ml ku evlo irukum divided by 5, option Charlie. 23. How many moles are present in 2.5 liters of 0.2 molar H2SO4? Molarity times volume, 2.5 times 0.2, that's all, 0.5. Beta. 24. 20 grams of magnesium carbonate is heated to give you carbon dioxide and magnesium oxide. 8 grams. So this is impure. Okay. Alright, what will be the percent purity of magnesium carbonate? Molecular atomic weight of magnesium is 24. So I know the weight of magnesium carbonate, convert this to moles, convert this to moles, convert this to grams. So enakku mole ratio theriyum. So I can go from here to here. Ipo idoda weight enakku theriyum. Idu dhaan total weight. This weight divided by impure sample weight times 100 will give you percent. Correct? So what do we do for moles? 8 divided by molecular mass. 24, 16, 40. 1 by 5. So that's the moles of MgO. That is the moles of MgCO3. Now what is the weight of MgCO3? Moles times molecular mass. So that is going to be 24 plus 12 plus 48. O3 48 ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும், ozone மாதிரி. 48, 58, 59, 60, 70, 80, 84. So I have 84 times 1 by 5. They are asking about what will be the percent purity. Okay, this is the weight. Now percent purity is the pure weight divided by total weight or weight of the sample times 100. So that is going to be equal to 84 times 1 by 5 divided by 20 times 100. 84%. Option beta. 25. When 3 grams of hydrogen reacts with 29 grams of oxygen, the amount of water formed is pretty similar to the previous problem that we saw. So convert this to corresponding moles, see which is the limiting reagent. The limiting reagent will balance the equation, you can calculate. Option should be delta. 26. Two elements X and Y combine to give you a compound having 75.8%. Take it as 76 or 75. Let's take it as 75. It's easier. 75 grams of X and 25 grams of Y. What is the moles? 75 divided by molecular mass is 75. So that's 1 mole. This one is 25 divided by molecular mass is 16. Approximately equal to 24 by 16 is 3 by 2. So there is 1 mole of X for every 3 by 2 moles of Y, or that equals X2 Y3. That's your molecular formula, beta. 27. They given you the organic compound, what is the percent nitrogen? So, எவ்வளோ nitrogen இருக்குன்னு. How do you calculate percentage? Weight of nitrogen divided by the total weight times 100. ஒரு molecule எடுத்தீங்கன்னா, ஒரு mole எடுத்தீங்கன்னா, அந்த compoundல 5 carbon, 10 hydrogen, ஒரு oxygen, ஒரு nitrogen, ஒரு chlorine. So, what I can do? Weight of nitrogen in 1 mole is 14. Weight of the organic compound. So, basically you can calculate all of them. 5 times 12. So, that's 60 plus 10 plus oxygen is 16, nitrogen is 14, chlorine is 35.5. So, 10, 15, balance 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. So, percent nitrogen equals 14 by 135 times 100. How do you solve this one? Take it as 140 roughly. 10%. டிவைட் பண்ண நம்பரோட பெருசாக எடுத்துருக்கேன். வரப்போகிற ஆன்சர் சின்னதாக வந்திருக்கு, அதோட கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். 10ஓட கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாக இருக்கிற நம்பர் அது ஆன்சர் பீட்டா 10.3. 28. Empirical formula CH2O. 0.0832 moles of compound contains 1 gram of hydrogen. 0.0832 grams contains 1 gram hydrogen. Now, this is a trick question, or not a trick question, a simple question, but you don't know how to set up the first step. The easiest way is, sorry, this is moles, so many moles. I am going to convert this to 1 mole. Ivlo mole 1 gram, now 1 mole evlo irukum. So, basically what I have, 1 times 1 divided by 0.0832. First term divided by second term times side term. So, 0.0832. This is what I have. So, 1 mole of the compound has so many grams of hydrogen. Okay. So, now how do you proceed from that? If you take the compound, okay, you have 2 moles hydrogen, correct? So, this is grams hydrogen, that is moles hydrogen. This is 1 gram, this is 1 mole hydrogen. Hydrogen. So many moles compound has so many 1 mole hydrogen, correct? So, 1 mole compound will have how many moles hydrogen? This is the moles hydrogen. Alright. Now, what do you need to do? Look at the empirical formula. 1 mole 2 hydrogen. So, 2 moles of hydrogen is present in how many moles? You can calculate based on that. Now, if you do, you will actually see that you can get option alpha. Now, why am I not doing it is, I want you guys to try it and ask me as a doubt. Set up panna theriyano. Next step. It's actually very simple. Now, enakku vandu oru mole ku ivlo moles hydrogen irukku theriyum. Now, what is the other data that I know? CH2O. 2 moles hydrogen, okay? 2 moles hydrogen is present in one empirical formula. You can calculate empirical formula weight. Adhu neenga calculate pannalam. 2 mole hydrogen எவ்வளோ வெயிட்டில் இருக்குது தெரியும். அப்போ இதோட வெயிட்டும் தெரியும்ல உங்களுக்கு, இவ்வளோ மோல்ஸ் ஹைட்ரஜனுக்கு எவ்வளோ வெயிட்னா. You can do that as well. This is a tough level problem for NEET. It's more like JEE problem because the numbers are such. இவ்வளோ இந்த மாதிரி நம்பர் நீட்டில் வராது. But I want you guys to get used to it. I'll show you how to use the number. If you want, I can take it as 2 decimal போச்சுன்னா என்ன இருக்கும்? 100 divided by 8.3. I can take it as 8 and then you can do 8 table. 29. 29 is simple. So, they have given you carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. 64.3, 7.2, 28.5. The numbers are uncomfortable, but you are not going to see these type of numbers in NEET. So, I divide by 12, divide by 7, divided by 16 molecular weight. Either grams are percentage divided by molecular weight, that will give you this. So, now 64 by 12. How do you do this? Now, 64 by 12 is not that hard for you guys actually. Okay. You need to do 12 table. 12 table terinja enna irukum? 5 is 60. So, roughly 5.33 varum. Idu 7 point, sorry, divided by 1. So, this is 7.2. So, this one 28.5 by 16. This is a little tricky. It's not tricky if you know your numbers right. So, 28.5 is roughly between your 24 and 32. அப்போ நீங்கள் roughly 1.5 எடுத்துக்கலாம். Not exactly 1.5 but roughly 1.5. not 1.5, sorry, 1.7, something like this. Now what I want to do is I want to make them a whole number, times 3 times 3 times 3. So 15.3, 5.33 times 3, 5 times 3 is 15, 5.33 times 3 is 16. So this is 21. I can still take it as 21 or 22, doesn't matter. 1.77 times 3. Now 1 times 3 is 3. 0.7 times 3 is 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So carbon is 16, hydrogen is 21, oxygen is 5. Divide all of them by 5. So 16 by 5 is roughly 15 by 5, 3. C3, this one is 4O, C3H4O, Charlie. Alright, last one, 30. So now here we have two organic compounds, okay, 92.3 grams carbon, hydrogen is 7.7. Okay, two organic compounds, both containing only oxygen, each the same percent. Okay, so divided by 12, divided by 1. Now divided by, it's easier if you are familiar with 12 table. It's much easier. If not, you can do it this way. For 12 times 5 is what? 60. For 60 minus panninga 32. 32 level vaati pogun neenga paakalam. Okay, it's your own way of doing it. It's easy if you are able to guess the numbers right. This is going to be 7.7, correct? 12 times 5 is 60, 12 times 6 is 72, 12 times 7 is 84. So this is something like 7 is 84, 12 times 8 is plus 12, 96. So somewhere in between, so I can take it as 7.7. Okay, so this is going to be 1:1. So this is going to be carbon 1:to hydrogen 1. Now which are the options possible? Option alpha is wrong, ena ella 1:1 both x and y. Option alpha la C2H2 is okay, C3H8 is not okay, 1:1 kadiyadu. So A is wrong, B is wrong because same problem. Charlie could be correct, delta could be correct, the options are flipped. We will see in organic chemistry later. At this point at least, something decolorizes bromine water. X decolorizes bromine water means it has double bond. So that is going to be C2H2. Now this is going to be benzene, option delta. Hope you guys are able to get an idea. You don't have to solve it this fast now, but this is the level at which you have to come at. Okay. Basic math practice pannada varum. Ipo na idoda slow ponana, you will get comfortable with that speed and you will never gain the speed. And where you should be is, if you are aiming for 600 plus, you should be faster than this. You should be able to start seeing a trend. You don't do all this. You just look at it here, 8 grams, 8 by 40, you can keep it here 1 by 5. 1 by 5 na evlo irukonu paakano. The least minimal work if you do, it will be easier. Okay guys, please do practice and practice our other mole concept worksheet as well. You should be okay. Alright, thank you guys.